Hello and welcome to another Geometry Dash building episode. In the last episode, we built up this brand new section of the level, which we're going to fill out with some stained glass windows and extra details, block design and all that sort of good stuff once we get to it. But in today's episode, what I actually want to do is continue working on this previous section here. Now there's a number of things I've got to do. I'm going to go through and replace all the wood with a brand new wood texture that we looked at in the previous episode. I'm going to detail up the bells. I'm going to add 3D depth to this whole section here, and hopefully everything will look just that tiny bit nicer. It's going to be painful for me to make, but like, that is beside the point. Now don't forget, if you want to watch the rest of the episodes in the series, I'll have a link to the playlist below. There will also be a link coming up right now on your screen. Oh, I've got the eye thing. Yeah, right there. And of course, if you like it, hit the like button and subscribe to me. It means I can keep making these videos because I want to finish this level. I really want to finish this level, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. But anyways, I think I'm going to jump straight into a time lapse to try and get everything 3D-ified finally. Welcome to the time lapse. I'm doing this one a little differently in that I have done about 3 hours worth of changes and I've kind of condensed it down into like 8 minutes. So there's a ridiculous amount of footage to kind of cover, but there's a few things I want to talk about to kind of go over the top of it. First things first is that in this clip, I'm just doing all the 3D detail, which if you saw the episode I did it, which was my 3D-ifying the castles episode, it didn't receive that as much positive feedback as my other videos, and I'm not sure why. So if you have any idea why, put it in the comments, or just watch the episode and leave a comment on that one and tell me what you liked or didn't like about it. But either way, this took me forever. It takes forever to try and line everything up, make sure it smoothly transitions and all that sort of thing. And what's even worse is I spent quite a lot of time, you'll see here over the next, I don't know, couple of minutes. I tried to make it so that I don't know what they're called, the little bricks on top of the castle kind of smoothly have that 3D effect like the rest of the level. I only ended up doing them here. It didn't fit into similar sections a little further on. But I don't know, it's very subtle. I'm not sure if it actually works or not. It took me a lot of trial and error to get right, so I don't know. It kind of works, it kind of doesn't. Another thing I wanted to talk about is my inspirations for this level. Now I'm wearing my inspirations pretty on my sleeve, you know. Glorious Fortress, Castle Mania, which you'll see with the wood, because I used a similar technique to the wood they used in that level. But I've also been watching a lot of audio-visual streams, and so he does a lot of effect levels. That really makes me want to like get stuck into making an effects level at some point soon. I've got some ideas for some, but I don't know, I'm struggling to find time to make other levels aside from this, because like usually when I release an episode, it's like this is all I've been working on all week. I usually record, I don't know, about 3 to 5 hours for each episode. This one will be longer, of course, because this time lapse alone just 3 hours of footage. But yeah, I might talk a bit about the plans I have for this channel. I do want to branch out and do some other content. I really like SD Slayer's videos and how he kind of comes up with all these unique concepts and that sort of thing. And so I think it might be a good idea for me to try and branch out. I've got some ideas for some, but I want to try and branch out and do some more content like this. I'm just not sure whether I should do it while, like, do it 1 week when I'm not doing this, or like just wait until I finish this level to do it. Either way, it's an interesting idea, and I might, you know, make some gimmick levels and that sort of thing, because I'm not used to doing them. I only really did that once, and that was when I was like 15. So I think that'd be a good idea. I'd also love to do like collaborations with some other YouTubers, or like, you know, build swaps, that sort of thing, challenges, whatever it is. But I really don't have the connections. I used to have connections. Most people won't know this, but I used to play probably 7 or 8 years ago now, and then I stopped playing about mid 2.1, and then came back when 2.2 came out. And so I've missed a lot of the connections that I used to have, and like they've all moved on. Like I used to moderate for Optical GD, and he's completely moved on for the game, so I've got no connections anymore. And I would love to, you know, do stuff with other YouTubers. I'm not sure how to approach them. So if you guys have any connections to YouTubers, or you have any recommendations on who I should try and contact, let me know, because I'd love to do something with someone else, you know. Finally we've gotten to the part where I actually try and revamp the wood. I'm not sure that the art style kind of fits the level I'm making. It's a lot cleaner than, you know, the brick and the other things surrounding it. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I tried hard to make sure it all fit, and I added kind of like nails to it because that's what was also shown in Castlevania, but I ended up removing them at some point. And I also added little dots of like texture to help add to that unevenness. I think that's the problem, because I really liked about the default kind of wood texture was that it was kind of wonky. And because this is so, you know, straight cut and clean, it kind of loses something in that. But I'm not sure how to make him, you know, wonky again. Because again, if I could just make the default texture but minus the black outline, that would be like perfect. And I think it is perfect for some areas. Like you'll see the ramps that you kind of go up and down, I've kind of left them because I think the wood works really well there, and I think it matches it well. But for the crates, which are in this section, there's another one I'll go back and do right now. And there's one in the next one that I end up having to try and 3Dify a little bit. It took a lot of effort to try and get it together, and I don't know if it necessarily paid off. But again, I don't know why I said again, but what I want is like your feedback. What do you guys think? How should I change it? Have you got any ideas? Have you got any level inspirations? I did get a lot of feedback on my last episode, which I'm very grateful for. So I'm going to try and, you know, incorporate that sort of feedback a little later on in this episode. But for now, this is the wood I ended up creating. A lot of some other things I'll bring up in the meantime is that I recently started a new Twitter account where I've just been, you know, reposting memes, and I'll post whenever an episode comes out. So if you're interested in that and you want to try and, you know, make connections, I'd love to start like a new like community or whatever. Feel free to follow, and I think that'll be a great time for all. So on the feedback again, I just want to touch. I love getting feedback. It helps out immensely, and the comments I received, and I'll go on to incorporate later, like really help me out. And so I do like sometimes go into other Discord servers, like, you know, Wallsies or Viperins. Everyone calls it Viperin. I don't know if it's Viperin or Viprin, because I'm Aussie, I kind of pronounce it differently. And audio visuals, of course, try and get some feedback, but you know, you don't always get the best feedback. But here it's like, this is my video, everyone's focused on it. And one thing I will say is that, like, you know, watch time are going up, people watching through my videos and actually listening to it, and it's making me happy. I'm glad about it. Keep doing that. It's great to see. I don't mind whether you keep it on the background or like actively watch. I think it's awesome. But yeah, feedback's the one thing I really want to get more of. And going back to like the YouTuber thing, it would be great to get some from the other YouTubers. You would have noticed I also fixed up the there was like a, what is it called again? Like a drawbridge that comes down. And so I kind of put it together using gradient triggers. It looked a little weirdly smooth, but again, just let me know how you think I should change it. Here I detailed up the bell, so it looks a little more round. You'll see it kind of looks a little awkward, but like, I ended up patching in a few pieces of glow, and it looks pretty good in motion. I don't know, the bells I think are an interesting addition and help make the level stand out because it's a unique mechanic. Oh yeah, alright, we're up to the final bit already. So finally I fixed up the gameplay. I'm gonna add some stairs going up this time to add a bit of variation into it. But I've changed up the spider gameplay completely because it was not beginner friendly, I'll be real. That's all for this. Time to get back into live play. Ooh, goodbye. Alright, now that I'm done with that, all this has been fixed up, and should look a lot nicer than it was. I still got to change the table that's there. It looks disgusting. But all the wood's been put in. I'm not sure about this drawbridge. I might change it later. And now this. You may have noticed I put this in during the time lapse. I want this to be like a little caravan. There's a demon level. I don't remember what it is, but at the start you have like a caravan that you kind of go over. And I think that would make a great obstacle because this area is very flat. And so currently you can just lie on the bottom and cruise all your way up to here. Now here, I'm going to create some stairs that go up to this as like a raised platform because currently this goes down. Then I want to have another one that's like in the mid ground that goes up. So I want to create a lot of that layering. I've got like a motif of layering that's going on here and I want it to continue into this area. But I'm going to leave that for today. This episode's already taken me a while as is, and I kind of got distracted and made an entire Lego set that I'll put in the video right now. Yeah, look, it looks cool. What I actually want to do is add in some feedback from you guys. So the first comment was that at the transition at 25% over here, it looks a little bit quick for the difficulty I'm going for. I can understand where they're coming from, and if we take a look at this, we just do it like this. You do really quickly come out of that and onto these two orbs. And what I'm thinking of doing instead is having it go vroom, and then, because this lines up with the beats, the dun dun, I'll just have a vroom, dun, like that, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to show the hitboxes so I can actually see what I'm doing, and what I might do is get one of these, flip it up like that. Let's see how that works. Ooh, that's a little mistimed. What if I move this over and have another little bit here? That feels very good. I'm gonna move it down a little. Yeah, that works perfectly. Now I just gotta make sure this all matches it. All right, I can turn off the hitboxes now, and I'll beef this up a bit so it looks like it's actually connected. There we go, that looks a little more interesting. And that feels really good as well. You'll notice I've left these little, I don't know what to call them, like leaves or whatever around the place. I'm still going to use that as like a basis for deco, but I think I'll do that a little later. And I've got an idea for how to change the flags. So possibly in the next episode or the episode after that, I'll focus on that. Because in the next episode, I really want to continue on with stained glass windows. But thank you for your suggestion. I've added that in. Hopefully that should play a lot nicer. The next comment I got was make the blur at the start of the level, or just in general, a little bit less. Now, I feel like the blur is like the defining effect of the level, I guess. It's kind of all in it, but I guess for a 2-star, it makes things quite a bit hard to read. Because I like the effect, I just might tone it down a little bit. Like if I make the intensity 0.8 instead, how does that look? Or is it size? If I change the size down to, I don't know, say 1.8. It's a little bit less, but I guess it's these blurs that kind of change it a lot more. So I've changed the intensity to 0.8 on all of these. Actually, I think it's size that I need to change. So I'll make it 1.5 instead. And hopefully here, yeah, you still get the effect where it's a lot more readable. I think I'll stick with that. That's a good idea. All right, I've changed all of them to 1.5. Let's take a look at how this looks. Still noticeable. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's still noticeable, but it makes things a lot more readable. I think that's a good thing. So thank you for that suggestion. And now this beginning section is a lot nicer. Because another comment I got was to add a lot of smaller details inside the castle. And so what I want to do first is I might detail up some of the details in here first, like all these hanging vines and the flags first, and then bring them into the castle. And so I'll do like a massive interior castle decorating episode. But for now, I think that's all I've got the time for. And I really want to get these out weekly. And I think I'm already going to be past that time frame. So this was a smaller episode. I hope you stick around for the next one. That'll be all from me today. If you like what you saw in today's episode, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and give me some feedback. That would be great, and I'll be sure to add in your feedback like I did with this one now. Once again, the song is copyrighted, so I'm going to be putting my own music over the top of it. And that's all for this one. Have a nice day. Ooh.